What's up, everybody? Matt Garska here. This is going to be the first podcast of many to come. I do have to apologize because I cut the top of our heads off in setting up the camera. But, you know, seeing as there's many to come, there's many improvements to be made. But we had a long chat and talked about a lot of interesting aspects of drumming, so enjoy. All right. Welcome, fellow drummers. This is a good friend of mine, Long Zhao. He is an incredible drummer. I guess I'll give him like the backstory. He started out as one of my students, and he's one of the very few people that have basically taken everything that I've taught them and learned it and then went beyond. So that's not an easy thing to do. If you've been on my website, you know there's a lot of material, and then there's all sorts of other stuff that I gave him. But he's in town. He's in Nashville recording for this project he has called The Resonance Project. And yeah, how'd it go?
I think it went pretty good.
I'm sure it did.
I was freaking out before this because, you know, seeing all these minor things, it's just all with these people I admire, like you and all those other big names in there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I got to do the same thing. So
gotta come correct. Everybody's watching, and yeah, it's gotta be like flawless, basically.
Right. Then also, this is like one of the few times that I've done this kind of shooting stuff like this, so it's quite of a interesting journey on this, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you crushed it. You showed me your set, and it's massive. It's like a proper kind of metal setup. Three racks.
Three top, two down.
Yep. Two rides.
2 chinas. That's important. You got to get 2 chinas.
Yeah.
2 kicks. Yes, of course.
Yeah. But if you guys haven't heard the Resonance Project, you got to check it out. It is sick as fuck. And you do like a lot of writing for it.
Yeah. Writing wise, we got 2 members. So I write, usually the way it works is, you know, the other person, Yas, he has his own compositions, and then I have my own composition. There's going to be composition we wrote together. And then we put all together. I mean, the concept has to be similar into an album. That's
it's
how
gotta like
it
have
works.
a through line,
or at least the vibe. You know, like the last one is more of like a cinematic, orchestral oriented.
I loved
vibe.
it.
Thank
It's
you,
like prog, but it's got this cinematic aspect to it.
Right. I'm because I used to write for like games and stuff, so that's my background, classical and film scoring. The second album is more jazz oriented. The harmony and everything, the structure and all that is more jazz infused. So that's sort of the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely study jazz. I'm aware of this because, you know, we've known each other and talked drums for so long.
Right.
You're one of the few guys that I know that's like a prog guy, or that like can play this crazy double bass shit and this complex meter stuff, but also really appreciates jazz. Like, I don't know, the touch of a jazz player, like the little intricacies, all the triplet stuff, man. There's like a lot of triplet stuff that I've stolen from jazz that, I wouldn't have found anywhere else.
Right. That's a direct intake from you, actually, showing me all the stuff, and then I guess yourself is heavily influenced with that particular type of music. Plus, the reason why I get into play drums is at the first hand I wanted to be a jazz drummer, and it didn't work out.
Really? That was your first choice?
Because this was when I was in junior high, so I was in a wind ensemble playing clarinet, and then we had to go to Japan for a festival, and then there's the Australian big band.
Okay.
They played it. Before that, I was a purely classical trained pianist, and then but always drawn attention to the percussionists in the classical music anyway. But that big band got me into that. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to play that the drum set, and then.
How old were you when you started?
I was like
kit?
13.
Wow.
Yeah, I started when I was 13, figuring stuff out by myself, basically, because, I was from China, and then back in the days, there's not much you can learn, not much available, because we're so behind on this.
For drums.
Yes.
For classical, I'm sure they're like shoving it down your throat.
They're going pretty nuts on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such like a typical Asian thing.
Yeah.
To be like, you have to play like piano, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like violin or clarinet or something.
Yes, it's just available. And then the modern music was introduced pretty late, so we had this drawback, or what do you call that? This gap compared to here.
The lag.
Yeah.
Is it changing now? Because like I've done some clinics over in China, and there's like 9Beat, so that's this like company that has like, it's massive. It has like 300 students per like location or something, and they're all in a room playing with each other. And
it's definitely changing. It's like technique wise, there's a lot of great players now, because I think the way people learn is directly transcribing and learn the direct stuff. And
I noticed that, yeah.
The linear stuff got like big. Like the biggest drum star there now is like Annika, and then the Cass, Chris Coleman has been doing a lot of stuff there. So definitely that style got really popular. So definitely it's
but
growing.
Like,
yeah.
There's no like, Chris Coleman's coming out of China.
No. The thing is the
Not yet,
originality and the music part. So in terms of that, I think it's still like catching up.
I find it so fascinating that like these different cultures approach music differently.
Yeah.
Like China or just Asia in general, I think they're similar to like Westerners, just as in like white people. I'm just gonna say white people as a general blanket statement.
Exactly.
Because like it seems like we're like taught. I was taught this way. It's like, to start playing drums. I mean, I started just playing myself in my dad's store, but he's like, let me get you lessons, and then that's how most kids start.
Yeah.
In white neighborhoods, but then you go to like the churches, and they're not looking at sheets and learning paradiddles. They're learning by ear.
Yeah.
And there's definitely something more powerful happening there.
This is something that took me the longest to be able to think backwards, because my classical background, everything is on the sheet, and then you play the exact thing.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a plus on learning stuff, and also to play these pre-composed parts. But to turn
or
into
your analytical brain, even,
exactly.
just to be able to break stuff down. If someone gives you a guitar part or something complex, like if you just go by feel, like you might not fully get it.
Yeah.
But if hey, you can break it down. Oh, it's basically sections of 15, and the phrase slightly alters, you know, the 4 times around, but I can do this under a quarter note.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Right. That's huge. Yeah, definitely. So I guess I think it's a lot of the things getting from you is to well, put it in a different way. Like, you basically helped me a lot on altering that mind into, you know, being able to play freely or think about a thing and then just spontaneously playing that by digesting these things. It's not like it's bad to learn stuff in this way first, but it's just a matter of how would you get to the point that you can do both. I think is the best.
Both are double-edged swords, or double-edged blades. It's like, if you go where you only grow up learning by ear and playing by feel, you can't do prog. You can't do that, or like some of these cats can't play to click, and it's like, damn, yo, you got an incredible feel, but you can't play to click,
right?
Or stuff doesn't like fully land, you know, the same way, like in a subdivision or something, like, you know, stuff like that, because it's like squeezed out as opposed to like, you know, in some way calculated,
right?
But then on the other hand, the other people that learn by the book
is like super stiff.
They learn basically what it is they're stiff because they've learned the box, and they've learned, okay, this is the box that you have to learn how to navigate in. Okay, and then you learn how to navigate, and you're like, I'm free within this box.
Right.
So if someone gives you a new box, or they're just like, just play, you're like, what do you mean just play? Yeah. Give me a box to play in.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I can play. And it's like...
That's why the jazz part kicks in really importantly, to get the language, get the freedom, and also that I think it's a different mind and body connection that you can compose spontaneously and then get the things out.
That shit. I think it's more Afrocentric.
Yes.
For lack of a better word. But like, I think that's pretty spot on. And it's like it's a different ideology. Mm-hmm. And honestly, lately I'm going more towards that because I've developed all this technical stuff, and you know, all my life I've loved improvising, and I've always done that, and like, you know, that's some of the greatest moments that in my drumming that I've enjoyed. And I'm just like, you know, if I can just forget this stuff now to some degree, you know, and just let go and just like almost be enough, instead of like thinking like, I'm not enough, I need to work on all this different stuff, because like, you know, it's like, if I'm 30,000 hours in, and at some point, is it ever going to be enough like facility that I amass before I'm content to just create and explore? It's like, you know, it kind of gets ridiculous to where it's like, I'm just playing with that, and there's something beautiful about like being very open to those moments and being 100% present. Like, for instance, Larnell Lewis. Saw him play at and you've been telling me about him for years, and I'm like, he's badass. But like, when I was in person and heard him at PASIC, I was like, this motherfucker is streaming like pure beauty in every moment. He's 100% present. And I'm like, there's something that just like resonated. Bing!
Is there
in that?
They just, you know, you're tapping into that frequency, and then I think it's a lot of the guys, if they came from that background of learning stuff by ear and doing really well on it, then if they obtain the actual knowledge on the technical stuff, know what they're doing. I think Larnell is one of those cases.
Yep.
Because the stuff executed is super accurate, super clean, and but also that feel.
Yeah.
It's like drawing the energy from the universe, and then you just had that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's not like the most insane chops, like, you know, but like I'm content with that. Like there's like I've realized my value system. I've always had this value system over time, but I'm like just realizing it. It's really, to me, what it is. It's not like a criteria like you got to have chops, you got to be able to like groove like badass, you got to be like totally under control,
right?
Or like whatever. It's for me, it's like you have to have character, in your playing, because there's guys that are extremely technical, and they're dry as hell, and I can't listen to them. Like I don't want to listen to them. Or guys that like, you know, just like don't have any character of their own. It just sounds like they're, you know, out of that like church school, and it's like you haven't developed your own voice yet, or your own like. So I'm like all about character, and like it could be, you know, like Larnell Lewis. Like, you know, I love insane chops players like Bruner. It's like love him. Yeah. But there's also things about him that like drive me crazy, like his lack of discipline at times and like consciousness for other musicians, but at the same time you wouldn't get that madness that he creates, and that like just going off of the rails, like going into launching into outer space, you know, without that. And then it's like, you know, look at Gavin Harrison, and you know, all his playing is like so beautiful and crafted,
so delicate.
It's like perfect and like smooth and fucking finessed. But like at the same time, he doesn't have that fire either, like of crazy chops where it's like holy crap. But like I don't need him to, you know?
Exactly,
So like I don't know. Who are you listening to nowadays that you're like, I fuck with this dude hard?
I'm still trying to get your shit together. That's one thing, because of you know, this recording, and there's just this there's a lot of these elements. I mean, especially after I watched this most recent tour that you did, that gave me a lot of inspiration on how to perform, you know, how to, you know, I start to think about, you know, why this thing sounds like that, and why the show is like more. I just feel that the show is more centered, like 50% is on you, and then the other two guys. That's one thing. Also, this statement is combined with this movement and this this tone that you pull out with those physical movements, and of course some of the phrasing thing here and there. That's definitely a big thing that I looked into, and really inspired a lot and helped me grow a lot on this. Like that little part, I was just jammed on the kid a little bit.
Like with the doubles,
the weird whatever that is. But the movement, like I had a lot of trouble playing that kind of stuff. You know, getting the hand on the snare in and out to crashes, and then having these weird patterns going on, and have this super syncopated thing with the ghost notes and whatever happening everywhere.
Oh, you're talking about like movement as in like navigating.
Yeah, navigating, that sort of thing. So it's not particularly like a pattern or whatsoever, that kind of a thing, but it's more of generally
a way to move.
Yes, that kind of stuff. If you look at me on my hi-hat playing, I studied a lot on how you were doing it,
Yeah.
to minimize that movement but still have that momentum, the velocity. Also that I would say it's almost like a floaty kind of vibe going on, and in and out. Yeah, so
I think this is something that drummers often overlook, actually. That is like really helpful. Is like
yeah,
look at a player, the way they're moving, the way they're snapping.
yeah,
Like, and it's a feel. Like, there's some times where I'm playing and I'm like, you know, I'm doing like a ride thing and I'm like, do, and my left hand's going on the toms and I'm like, I feel like Vinny right now.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
it's like, sometimes it's like, damn it.
Yeah, yeah,
But like, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, I'll be like, you know, like, and I'll do like some fast thing and I'm like, oh, that's like, you know, felt like some Bruner stuff. Or like,
exactly.
I don't know, like you look at Mason Gadri and like, you know, he's a huge Bruner head. He's like, people used to call him a Bruner clone.
Right.
But it's like that cat, you can tell his movement, like he's
right
embodied
yeah
that. Even like looking at like Dennis Chambers, you know, it's like, yes, I can tell you've studied from Billy Cobham
exactly
a lot.
Yeah. So that thing is like, you know, certain sound is produced in certain way
Coupled with
because of
movement.
that. Yeah. Then if you talk about some of these influences, definitely another guy that I looked into a lot is Sebastian Lancer.
Oh yeah.
Because just this upcoming album has a bunch of those tech parts. So in order to, you know, because, you know, when we play prog, we don't really have that kind of tonality on the drums for just those kind of. How would you describe that? It's like,
you're talking about like the one-dimensional sample type sound because everybody's using drum plugins instead
like
of real drummers.
If you want to achieve that kind of sound, then there's a different movement to that. So I learned a lot from that guy. Talk to him and get some ideas on the fast double bass stuff, and also this posture and the way that the drum ergonomics.
He's actually,
you know, all that.
He's one of the few cats that can swing too.
Yes,
who fucks with jazz. I forgot about him, but he's like he can legit play like legit jazz. It's like what?
Yeah. It's like, it's interesting because, you know, especially to me, like that's sort of what I was going for. Like jazz is a big part, and then this metal stuff is another part. You try to combine it. So he definitely helped a lot on that. And then also Sanchez is another big part on this.
Antonio Sanchez?
Yes. He's like one of my all-time favorite. And my writing, there's one tune is like really heavily, it's prog, but it's like Pat Metheny influenced. And there's a straightforward parts in there, just Sanchez. I'm using Flat Ride.
Hell yeah.
On the Jazz Kit. Like,
I learned from him. Like, I went to this percussion camp called COSA, and he was teaching there. And I then, like, later I ended up, like a few years back, I did a clinic with him. We both played the clinic. I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. That guy is insane.
Yeah,
man.
he's yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Antonio Sanchez is, it's because you're a freaking metalhead noob. You're a simp. You're a metalhead simp. That's so shame.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Shame.
Sanchez, yeah. And another guy, a huge influence on me is Mark Juliana.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy led me into the actual jazz world.
I can understand.
I studied just you know, sort of systematically from with him, from going through Jimmy Cobb to Roy Haynes, then Tony Williams, Jack DeJohnette, and then all these
You
people.
studied with him?
Yes, for like about a year and a half already.
Wow.
So that really sort of gave me this great introduction to. I mean, I was fooling around with jazz always, but this is like a great introduction on the history of jazz drumming.
Yep.
And of course, you can part like, you know, I play like that now, like a lot of times. I mean, you can't really hide your influence.
Yo, it adds
Yeah.
another dimension when you can like strike the ride and be like ting 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 ting, like when you can like just effortlessly flow through that thing, and it's just like, I mean, my ride parts now, it's like, yeah, if I have something like that in there, like brain dance, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it feels really good.
Right. It feels great, and then and I mean, who else? Justin Tyson.
Yo, I was
bro,
about to say Justin Tyson. I was about to hit you with that because I'm like, I'm watching this new R plus and R equals now. Like,
That's
yo,
just-
if you guys don't know, you gotta, because he is going off. You know that
Yeah.
one resting warrior.
exactly. That's
It's in 15.
yeah.
But like you can feel it a bunch of different ways,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. I think that's a huge part. Actually, one of the songs, is, for me, like I recorded mine today too. It's like there's a couple influences in this song. This R plus R, that exact song, because I love that vibe so much.
Yeah.
That's the horn one. I was.
Oh,
telling
the
you
horn
earlier.
one. Yeah. You got
I
some
a
horns up in
trumpet
there.
guy, and then I did 15 too, but it's like 7 and 8. The R plus R is more like an 8 and 7 sort of thing. And then,
Yeah.
then you can break it into like 3/5s or 5/3s or whatever you want.
Yeah. Like also I feel like he's viewing it almost like 6 beats and
Yeah,
then
yes.
like a dot, 2 dot. It's like
Right.
1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 1 2 3
Yeah,
1
yeah.
2.
Right.
You know,
Or sometimes he just play through. A lot of times I
with
don't.
the dotted.
I don't really know if they are still like in 15 or whatever, but they always comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, there's times where I'm like, but you know, they're that confident that they'll come back around, and they're just like, they're not like, oh, we need to know exactly where one is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think their attitude's a little bit different about that,
Right.
and they're not playing the click either.
No. And then you
But,
just,
like-
this flow, you can hear it.
I was watching a Blue Note. Did you see that performance?
I think I have the Wrestling Warrior too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like how like after a soloist plays, like they'll stop.
Yeah. They always get into that that part is
I
like
love that part.
The,
Christian Scott on the
yeah.
horn. His timbre. Nobody's timbre is like his.
That guy is the shit. Yeah,
He's
I
the
love
best
it,
horn
yeah.
player in the world right now, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe his chops could be like crazy. There's somebody crazier, but like his
He got a
freaking timbre
character.
and his character.
You hear
There
him.
we go.
You hear
Character.
him, you know that's him.
Yep. I think that it's made out of gold or something. Like that trumpet he's got that looks all weird and angles up.
Yeah.
It must be made of gold.
Like
That's how he
now
gets that
has, like,
sound.
strings and shit on it. I'm like, okay.
He's got strings on it.
Yeah, it's I think it's a African instrument, sort of infused with okay, I can't remember now if it's actually on a trumpet or not, but I saw him playing that stuff. Yeah,
Like castanets or something like that.
It looks like
like
pretty long, and there's a couple strings down there. I think they're fixed tuning, and then you just kind of plug it.
dang.
Yeah, with
I
Justin
must not
Tyson.
have been paying attention. I was too busy counting.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's like, what?
What?
Yeah. I that song I tried to count a lot just to figure out like how he was landing the phrases and whatever, and then I gave up and just like, okay.
He a lot of times just doesn't play the one, and like
Yeah.
that keeps it funky, like
Yeah.
where it's like if he played the one every time around, which is some shit that I would have done like 10
Mhm.
years ago for sure.
Right.
I would have been marking almost every single
Yeah.
one. And now I'm like, this is a construct that
Yeah.
I've created in my mind
Right.
because I've been taught this way
Yeah.
to think in this box of 15.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can just like float through it, and I think the best example for that,
That takes more skill.
yes,
do that.
Yes, but the best example for that is Nefertiti, the
Wayne Shorter.
Wayne Shorter, Tony Williams, and then Miles. That song, Tony did not play a single one for the whole song.
Oh, really? Oh,
Um,
shit. I gotta look back at that.
It's the album is Nefertiti, and then the first song.
Okay.
He did not play a single one. It's crazy. And that song is weird because it's sort of written in the fashion to favor Tony's playing. That song, there's no other instrument solo. It's basically the same melody, same chorus going through probably like 12 times, and then just Tony's doing his thing under
Yeah.
it. Not a
Beautiful.
single one.
I love Tony.
Yeah.
He's never gonna be wiped from the map.
Right. He's a big part too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody flams like that.
No.
Even still, man. It's like, y'all motherfuckers heard of flams? Like metal dudes. It
Yeah.
kind of annoys me. It's like, why don't metal dudes play more flam? Is it because all the stuff is programmed? Is that what it is?
Well, you can program flams. It's programmable.
I know, but like it's
Yeah.
usually but I don't hear it programmed.
Okay. Right.
Not as much, not
Right.
nearly as much, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Mark from Veil of Maya. We were on tour together, and he's like showing me this record he was coming out with, and I'm like, there's no flams on this, huh? And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh. I'm like,
Yeah. Also, I think it's a thing for metal drummers that a lot of time they just program everything, right? And then play exact what's programmed.
Yeah.
So I guess, especially for prog, it's such an open platform. You can do a lot of things on top of it.
yeah.
So I personally think that if you take a different approach to it, it's going to work great.
If you have ever played flams in a recording session and then gotten the drums back and they sample replaced or tried to sample replace,
It's going to be funny, right?
it's different.
Right.
Why is it different? Because it's totally dependent upon the snare that you have. Like if it's a
Right.
big fat snare,
Uh-huh.
your flams are going to be fatter. If it's a
Right.
tight snare, crack, crack, really, really
Right.
tight snare, your flams are going to be closer together. So if they
Oh,
put
okay.
that snare sample that sounds like it got hit, like the side of a car door got hit with a baseball bat,
Uh-huh.
that snare
Right.
sample that, all the gent bands are using,
Yeah.
it's not going to sound right.
Right. Yeah.
And I've been like, yo, nah, bro. That ain't right.
Just sample the flam. Put that sample in.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like, yeah, I want to go more ham on flams just because, it's just like a natural
Right.
thing that sounds really great. Even like flamming the kick, crash, and
Yeah.
snare.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like an attitude thing. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like fuck you attitude
Right.
almost. Or like it can be like a dirty, nasty, like stanky punctuation. Yeah. It's sassy.
Yeah.
It's some sassy shit.
Yeah. And this works great for the genre, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another guy that I've seen recently, I dug this performance "Lamb" by Damian Reed. You fuck with Damian Reed?
That guy, he's somebody. Like when you're trying to figure out his shit, is like, I love that guy. I've seen him live. Totally blown away. He's open-handed and his brushwork is insane.
Ooh, yeah. He made me want to play brushes.
Bro, like
I detest brushes. I won't play them because all these Berkeley people kind of ruined it for me, being like, do you have brushes? And what they really mean is like, will you play quietly?
Yeah.
That's what they mean. And it's like, yo, you just... It's not, like, you're not thinking of it texturally.
Yeah.
But, yeah, his brushwork is sick. Saw him at PASIC.
Right.
And with Robert Glasper.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes Robert Glasper just gets straight up dissonant on your ass, like for like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
He'll just like, it's almost like a wash.
Yeah.
Like he's like washing your mind, like rinsing it of any pre shit that you've heard, and then he'll hit you with like the banger part.
Yeah.
The part that's like, oh, and it like gives you more relief, but you got to be willing to listen to some dissonance, bro.
Right.
But yeah, Damian Reed, his shit was. Have you heard him on Canvas and In My Element? All the old Robert Glasper stuff.
I probably. Oh yes. Canvas. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Damian Reed.
He's always on the Trill stuff. And
on the what?
Trill. The
Trill?
Robert Glasper Trill.
Oh, Trio.
Trill, yeah.
I thought you were saying Trill.
Trill,
Trill,
yes.
LL.
Trill, yeah.
He's on that trill shit.
Trill.
I'm like, he kind of do be trilling on the drums, like,
yeah,
like
he does
smooth.
Actually.
Yeah.
I saw him at Blue Whale. I was just sitting like next to him, and then that guy was using a 24-inch kick, played like a 18.
What? He had it tuned like way high?
No, it's not high. It's tuned normal actually, and then you don't feel like it's high. No. You don't feel it's low, and just the way he it's that that blue sparkly like Tama Star rental drum that I think they had here in the office. So he used that one, and I was trying to figure out because there's no way I would imagine this is a 24. I thought it must be a 20 at most. And it's a 24, I think, and it's crazy.
That is.
That guy's control is insane, and that open hand phrasing, he can do both.
Yeah.
And then there's something in there. It's just sit down and listen. It's like whatever.
Yeah, just gotta listen to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah.
He's a blast to talk to as well. Yeah. Who else? Who else have I been listening to lately? Who else have you been listening to?
Let me see. I think there are somebody.
You don't listen to a lot of prog guys, huh?
Honestly, I don't really listen to
Neither
prog.
do I, yo. Like, it's...
I can't count it. Dude, like the prog...
I can count on my hand, too, yeah.
The prog stuff I listen to now, at the moment. I listen to some Animals, and then I think that's it.
Yeah.
And
hey, man, that's fine.
I listen to some Devin Townsend. I don't even know if that counts as prog or not.
Not really.
It's like stuff. Then
maybe it was prog like 15, 20 years ago.
Right. I don't really listen to a lot of metal music at all.
I gotta be honest. Yeah, neither do I. The metal that I listen to, like, I want my metal extreme. Like Meshuggah.
Oh yeah,
like,
Meshuggah. I forgot that. That's definitely
their new record is fucking amazing. It always gets better. It's incredible. Yeah. It's like, when will these guys drop a record that's not as good as the last one?
Right.
And then we can go, they're getting old.
Right.
No, I don't think they're gonna give us that. They're fucking, they're legends.
Yeah.
Legendary.
That's something else. Yeah, Meshuggah definitely.
Yeah.
Never gets.
Their grooves too,
tired,
like
yeah.
the thing that I don't like about metal is that like it stays in this really specific space.
Yeah.
And like all these riffs end up being the same freaking riffs, but
Yeah.
Meshuggah, I'm sorry, but the reason why I love them so much is not just polyrhythms. It's like
It's 4/4 actually.
it's
The thing under that. Floating.
The reason I love them is because they each song is its own like little concept. Like Bleed
Yes.
is like
Yeah.
it's that shit. And then there's like, Do Not Look Down, the
Yeah.
or there's like Lethargica that's like, it sounds lethargic the whole
Yeah.
tune. Like there's like Swarm is like triplets in 6. You don't hear anybody playing straight up double bass
Right.
doing triplets in 6. I mean, Monomyth is that, but it's not straight,
Yeah.
triplets.
Right.
Like
Dude, that stuff sucks to play. Honestly.
yeah, it's
Dude.
tough because then your snare lands on a left
It sucks.
kick.
Okay. This I wrote a part like that. I mean, I wasn't copying that, but it just like somehow came out in that way. It's Night Helpless.
Yeah.
Horrible. I get lost in the middle because if you're not hearing it goes like a moment with a you're like, fuck, where am I?
Yeah. For a while there, I was just working on triplets. Like instead of working on straight 16th notes,
Mm-hmm.
I was like basically only working on triplets where it was like, and my right hand was playing a jazz ride pattern.
Right. Yeah.
And then I would do all sorts of stuff with the left
Yeah.
hand, and then I'd do it in 6. I'd do
Right.
triplets in 6.
Right.
And just like get used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it then all of a sudden where you want to place things and phrase things,
Yeah.
your feet are not necessarily moving the way they would be moving
Right,
if it were
right.
just triplets in 4 or if it were 16th
Yeah,
notes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like this added challenge, and it's like almost like, there's a level of like figuring out what limb is lined up,
Yeah.
but then there's a level of like just playing that and
Yeah.
and lining it up, just
Right.
hitting it and making sure your snares are directly unison.
Right.
Sometimes you keep flamming and you like, which limb is this landing on so I
Yeah.
can
Exactly. Yeah.
get it figured out
Yeah.
and fix it. But like, there's a level of like just playing,
Yeah.
not figuring it out. Just
Also, that stuff trips you over. Like when you work on it for a while and then you just kind of like trips. Like it's the muscle or something. It's like Hurtus when you played. Okay, the Hurtus. I don't even want to hear those words anymore.
It hurt us
Dude,
me.
like, it's no.
It hurt us my feet.
Yeah, that stuff is like when you try to synchronize it. After a while, like I think at least for me, there's my muscle gets crimped or something. Then it starts to do this.
Oh man.
Then you just have to stop and then stretch and kind of reset for a little bit, and then they start to open up. Then you're doing it for too long, it kind of goes like that too.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know that I push it that far. I usually just like break. But I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not like one of these fast motherfuckers. Sometimes like I've realized I used to like keep banging my head up against the wall and just like keep working on something, and now I'm like, it's not that at any sign of difficulty I'd like back off or just take a break. It's
Right.
like I'll go, but to a point,
Right.
and then I'll be like, either I move on to something else
Right.
and come back, or I go and take a break for like a few minutes, grab a drink, just
Right.
something small, take a piss, whatever it is, and then come back. And it's
Right.
like there's these studies that show that doing that is actually highly beneficial. Like you're playing a sequence.
Yeah.
Supposedly you play this piano sequence, and then when you stop playing for a few seconds, your brain is playing it
Right.
still. But it's playing it like 60 times faster or something.
Yeah, it's in the subconscious.
It's cycling through in your subconscious way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm trying to like utilize stuff like that and just think outside of the box and not just go back to like the typical way that I've always practiced.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know, some of these experiments
Yeah.
might just be, you know, enticing or sound good because it's gonna let me be lazy. It's a great excuse for me to take a break or to
Yeah.
not train as hard as I should.
It's like when you especially work on that stuff and then you chill. I'm like, I don't want to get back to it.
Yeah.
Then you chill for a little bit longer. Then you lost the momentum. It's like, okay, I'm good for the day, and then come back tomorrow, and then got to start over again.
Yeah. Sometimes it's brutal restarting the next. Sometimes I make the decision to keep playing, and then the next day I'm like, you know, feel like dog shit. My hands feel like crap, and I just crushed myself to the degree that now I'm not recovered.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. And then there's days where I'm like, okay, I'm going to back off a little bit because I want to be able to get in this much practice tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna, if I get 4 hours both days, that's better than just 6 hours one day and then being screwed up the next day. So, and it's better for your brain and for getting it stored in your long-term memory.
Right.
But, question. Whenever you're preparing for this resonance project stuff, what is your preparation look like? Like, when are you playing stuff at full speed? Do you tinker around with that earlier on in your preparation? Or are you like, I'm going to work it up, build it up, and then, like, when do you start?
Okay.
Kind of bring me through it.
I think it depends on the parts. So,
the difficult parts. Let's talk about the motherfuckers.
For example, this new album, the number one enemy is Hurt Us.
Yeah.
I have no clue why this happened in that way. It's just all sorts of Hurt Us. I think it's just every...
You're talking about, like, left lead, too. Like,
yes.
Like...
Yeah, there's...
That's a gallop. So, like... Hurt Us are just right lead.
The right lead.
Yeah.
I feel... okay, so... I remember I talked to you about that left thing. I think when you were on tour, when we met that day, and then because Monomyth had the thing, right?
Yeah.
Then you talked about like playing get rid of that middle note. Just try to get that double. Down. Okay. So for me, the longest that worked for me to a certain degree because I play doubles on the thing, on the pedals.
You play pretty fast inverted doubles, by the way.
Right, inverted doubles.
Yeah,
that's a different flow, honestly, to that. If you want to do that kind of stuff, it's a different thing when you think about compared to inverted doubles. Inverted double is almost like a flow that it just kind of rolls itself. Once you get the flow going.
Yeah.
So in order to prepare this Hurt Us, these motherfuckers slow down for sure. To first of all make sure that the left foot is landing on the parts that
on
they're
the
supposed
downbeats.
to be on. And those are definitely the parts I take it slow, like I take like what 50%.
50%. Wow, yeah.
Just as slow as I don't fuck it up.
Yes.
So I'll start from there. Just try to land everything. Make sure there's a consciousness going on that you're landing each limbs on the correct spot.
And you're playing to click.
Yeah.
Or are you playing the song as well?
No, both. Yes, click itself or click plus songs.
Do you ever? This is something I started messing with recently. Do you ever put just the bass drum part in there?
Yeah. Yes. I
Like-
have a MIDI program thing, and just I try to line it up in that way.
I've been doing that too, and it's
Yeah.
helpful.
It
Very helpful.
definitely helps a lot. And then
Yeah.
I also did another thing. It's pretty extreme. So, take a drum pad, right?
Mhm.
Just the whatever bass drum pad.
Okay.
I mic it up because that thing only have a tag, right? I mic
Yeah.
that thing up, and then I record to Pro Tools, try to line it up with the grid, just to fix my Hertas, because I had a huge issues on the Hertas that my feet gonna go together, and I thought there's no way I can get through the album if I don't solve this problem.
Yeah.
So it sort of did, and then that's definitely for that. Just slow, and also for other parts, for example, those super fast, like the tech parts, that stuff, I take it at a certain tempo. I don't play it super slow because it's a complete different technical flow on it. The technique to incorporate in that situation is different. So you have to find that threshold that you are using the same technique. Because say if it's 220, right? If you drop it to 180, it's gonna be a different technique involved on the double bass. It's gonna be more of a you're gonna have some leg motion, and from 200 up, it more be like ankle motion.
Yeah.
So I just build it from there. For that part,
is there any way to still work ankle movement at lower speeds to kind of flush out to, like, do you try to work it reverse? Because that's something I try to do too, is like pull things back slower. But
right.
I don't know.
I use blast beats for that, because blast beats, somehow with the hand filling up the spaces, you're gonna be able to do that ankle motion at a slower, like at least half of the speed on the feet. Especially if you alter it like that. So that's for that part. And then,
so how many weeks out do you start working on this stuff? What do you need?
I mean, for recording, because I could comp and edit a little bit. The shortest I've taken is like 2 weeks.
That's fast. That's really fast.
Not a thing I would recommend at all. It's bad. It's like so stressful. But I would say like a month would be a good pace.
I usually take 6 weeks. I'm like, yo, I need 6 weeks to, if you want me to nail this shit,
right?
Like,
I think I'm not to your extreme to try to do as few comps as possible, because I'm still like years behind. So
as far as like on the record, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I don't care how many comps it takes. What I care about is that it's perfectly felt.
Right.
It all the hits are solid as hell, and it's also close to the grid, because otherwise it's gonna get chopped up.
Right.
To be super close to the grid. So I'm trying to avoid that. So
right, exactly.
I choose the ones that naturally feel the best, but also
like really
adhere closely to the grid.
Right, exactly. I was doing the same thing basically, and then I think it just depends on the parts, and also for the jazz part, usually I don't really rehearse that much on it. I just get the flow going. Pretty much just loop the part, vibe it out, and then find a flow, and then I'll just go record it and find the best take, I guess.
Something that I do is like, so like, let's say it's 6 weeks out from when I'm recording. I'll have an idea of what the most challenging parts are, and I'll start tackling those first. That way I'm getting them in my system for the longest time beforehand. Right. And sometimes when we're writing, it's like, we've written the tune and I haven't practiced it yet. Like, fucking programmed everything.
Yeah.
like Monomyth, and it's like, you know, I've worked on a lot of patterns like this,
Yeah.
but it hasn't been this exact pattern.
Right.
In this, you know, configuration. And, you know, I think at some point I realized, I got to start working on this now.
Right.
Like, instead of just listening to the demo being like, this is going to be a
like,
sick tune. Yeah, this is going to be, then I was
Yeah.
like, you know, going to the practice room a few times, or like maybe the first time that I went, I was like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah,
Like my
yeah.
feet, I was having a great freaking day.
Yeah.
And then at some other point I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So I don't know, as soon
Yeah.
as I can start
Yeah.
working on difficult parts, and I do it in chunks.
Right.
And then it's not that I'm doing the full arrangement from head to toe, like from the beginning of the song to the end,
Right.
playing full playthroughs
Mhm.
until like probably a week
Right.
before,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if what's it like for you? When do you start
So-
running from the top down?
I actually usually okay. So here's the problem. So I have a different writing flow. So for the songs that I wrote, I don't write from the drums. So I usually just write every other instrumentations out, have that ready, and then I put a sketch drum in there. Like I'm sort of like I rarely program the exact stuff I'm playing. If I program, probably the kicks. I don't program ghost notes or whatever. Then I take the track to the kit and I start to figuring out afterwards.
Yeah.
That way, because I'm just lazy, I don't want to program it. That's the only reason. Then somehow it turned into a workflow that works pretty naturally for me. So I get onto the kit, I figure stuff out, and then I'm like, okay, this goes to the music pretty well. And then I kind of set the parts. I would either, if it's a part that's too complicated, I'll write it out. Otherwise, I just kind of memorize this thing I'm gonna play. So that's my process on it. So a lot of time it's about finalizing parts through playing.
That's what I do too. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the sketch is there, but like,
Yeah.
stuff like ghost notes,
Yeah.
they're put there to actually add to feel
Right.
and to make things feel better to
Right.
play.
Right.
And like, you'll notice like, putting a couple ghost notes in, can make it way easier to play, more natural.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Instead of, it's just about being easy. No, it's about it sounding and
Right.
feeling natural for you
Yeah.
to play. So
Yeah.
yeah, and fills and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like all that stuff is
Yeah.
changes, and then sometimes it's
Yeah.
bigger for me. So it's just
It's
I would say
probably
it's the
similar,
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like there are hits, certain spots. Like if I want to, through playing, I'll figure out a thing to, there's these little setups you can do within a groove,
Yeah.
especially those syncopated double bass groove or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe a snare on a upbeat, on the 16th upbeat, that'll set up for something. That thing just comes within
When
the
you're playing.
process that you're playing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and learning it.
Sometimes maybe it's a mistake, and it's like that sounded pretty cool.
Yes.
And yeah, I learned my lesson not to improv too much, because last album I did, I just had the structure and I'm like, I'll just play, and then that's a huge headache when you try to calm stuff.
Yeah. Yep, it can be, certainly. Yeah, I've had that happen before. But sometimes it's like Ectogenesis, like that was 100% improvised.
Right.
That solo.
Yeah.
And, it was fine getting in and out,
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's like, so we recorded Conflict Cartography off the new album. It's the first song on the album. We recorded that twice, actually.
Right.
And like the first time, like when I put this comp together of basically what was kind of like a solo section, I kind of figured out in like doing, I must have done like 20 takes because I was like, I don't know, it's not quite there.
Mm-hmm.
In doing that, I realized the stuff that I wanted in the solo, and I was actually able to condense it like in half.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel you. The improvising thing can be tough, especially in this prog world where like the arrangement is pretty much set.
Right.
It's not gonna change.
Exactly. And then I just feel for, even though, you know, trying to make this music as organic as possible, but it has its tonality, its characteristic that you have to sort of follow that, which is, you know, that. So things gotta be in that way. But we'll just do our best to play it, perform it in a way that it goes like that, but still like have this breath in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just briefly like in preparation of this stuff. No more Heard Us. I'm so down with that.
I feel you, man. It might be a minute before I write another Monomyth, because fuck me.
Yeah. That song is I use that to work on my Heard Us.
Yeah.
Take it slow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other supplemental stuff that really, my new double bass lesson that I came out with. I don't know if you've worked through it at all, but
I did.
It's got like snare stuff where it's like, you know, like in triplets, you know, and that, those like 5s and 7s, and doing stuff like that.
Right.
That's kind of like where I came up with the Monomyth type idea. Just exploring like, you know, weaknesses actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you explore weakness and you start working on all these supplemental patterns.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's not as much of a weakness, and then you put it in a song, so it has to become a strength.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a few things from that. It's like this tom thing, you know, this single tom going down and then up.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That's a great, really effective thing that works. It has a different color compared to, you know, traditional
2 notes per tom thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking classically, actually, because there was this song, Microaggressions, and it's like very almost neoclassical, that he's shredding the whole time. And I was like, I don't just want to come at it and be like, you know, because that's kind of like what he had programmed. And I was like, I do want to do that type of bashing where it's just bludgeoning, but like there's also like some like runs that he's doing where I'm like, okay, how am I gonna come up with different patterns that highlight this 6-note kind of figure, or this shredding, like, so like that's kind of the stuff that I started to do. I started to go button that too, button like basically doing a herta but with the hands, and then the kick fills in the other upbeats, or like just going down the toms, 5, you know, snare, tom, kick, or like, I don't know, like doing, you know, but like down the toms, like tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, tom 4.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Just thinking, like, how would a piano player, you know, approach this drum set?
Exactly. Like the arpeggios on drum kit. Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's a healthy dose of drum nerdage.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can keep going for days.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for coming over after your session where you blazed. I'm looking forward to seeing the footage. I know it's gonna sound incredible. This guy always comes correct.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah, man. Keep on being a badass, and yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for being the
thank you.
first guest.
Thank you for
on the
having me.
podcast.
It's an honor
All right,
to be here.
cheers.